Namaste, gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Tyen. If you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit the notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Excuse me. Welcome, 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 Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. This is your read for today. I am going to go ahead and start off with the Divine Masculine read from the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and get into the Divine Feminine at the top. I am just pulling in information from the ethers and channeling the information that is currently going on in this here and now moment, okay? Let me go ahead and call in some help. I call in air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod-Heh Vav-Heh, who will be able to give me the information that is necessary for this beautiful reading in all directions, time and space, past, present, and future. And so it is. Actually, change of course. Filling out the energy. I'm going to start with the Divine Feminine at the top, okay? And the Divine Masculine at the bottom. Now, I changed the polarities because usually the Divine Masculine is associated with the negative side and the Feminine is associated with the positive side. But I went into the Feminine's dark side, and then I went into the Divine Masculine's light side, okay? So we changed the polarities today, and there will be a change of polarities on this reading. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first card for Divine Femme. The first card that you have laid down here is Sacred Journey. Divine Feminines are now coming into their own, okay? You are coming into an understanding of knowing that this is not a twin flame journey. There is no such thing as a twin flame journey. And I'm saying this to say we're all on a spiritual journey. A sacred journey is what it's called. Now, in this sacred journey, along comes your twin. And that's what makes it even more unique and that much more special. But being a twin flame within itself is not really a journey, because we're all here on the same mission, regardless of what our soul contracts are. And that's the sacred journey back to self, to allow for the Kundalini to rise, as you can see here. To be connected back with source energy, right? So Divine Feminines are now in their personal heaven, right? Because they have come out of the gates in the depths of hell. And long gone are the days when Divine Feminine is chasing after Divine Masculine. Now she knows that her journey is sacred and that it's more about her personal relationship with source energy and about her personal relationship with self, as opposed to the connection that she has with her outer counterpart, which is Divine Masculine. A lot of you Divine Feminines have been going through so much right now. It is really a period of a lot of triggering. A lot of Divine Masculines are really setting Divine Feminines off. Now, don't be too hard on yourself, and many of you have not. Many of you have taken out the time to do the healing, because this is the reason why the triggering has occurred, so the healing can occur, so the healing can take place. Past life traumas, childhood wounds and injuries, the inner child needs to be healed. And so Divine Feminine is taking out that time right now to do the spiritual work. And it's not easy, and it's not always pretty, but just know that it will free you. And speaking about being free, you have the free spirit card. Okay, you can be a free spirit now. You're not bound. Majority of you are not bound to religion. Religion is when you want people to think for you, but spirituality is when you know and you think for yourself. And because of that, you are a wild woman free. You are a woman on fire. As you can see that fire behind her, as her spirit is so evolved enough that you are standing in your autonomy. You are being your true, authentic self in every way, shape, and form. You are not bounded by the constructs of man and the laws of the land, because spiritual laws trump man's law. And that is what governs the whole universe, not just this earth. Okay. And the earth spins on its axle because of those laws, right? Because of the law of gravity and lift. We don't fall off this planet. So divine feminine is in her power. This is her own heaven. She has truly brought heaven to earth. Okay. Now you have communication. You are communicating with your spirit animals. You're communicating with spirit, your angels, your guides, some of your ancestors that have passed on beyond the veil. You're really tapping in and tuning into your God frequency, which is again giving you this wonderful display of heaven, because you don't feel disconnected. You don't feel like you and God are separate. You acknowledge the goddess that is within and the God that is within, right? Because we're both God and goddesses, you guys, because we're both male and female. We're androgynous spirits in a human body. We're neither male or female. We have both aspects that we can utilize at any given time. And so now you are aware of that. And with this awareness comes clarity. Okay, you're no longer confused about the connection between you and divine masculine. All right, if it comes, it comes. If it don't, it doesn't, because that's just where you are right now. You are not entertaining relationships that are not giving you anything that is tangible back in return. You have set your boundaries. You're walking in your truth, okay, which is represented by this card. And by walking in your truth, that has elevated you into a higher position. All right. You're no longer accepting breadcrumbs at this moment. You know that you don't have to accept breadcrumbs when you're the whole damn loaf of bread. And so you're moving differently than the way that you used to move. You're not thinking and acting and speaking the same way. A new you is emerging. All right. You're able to not only walk in your truth, but you're able to also live in that truth, be in that truth, and speak, most importantly, your truth. You're setting boundaries, which is what was needed, not only with divine masculine, but also with people that are around you. You're not letting in things, you're not letting things slide anymore, right? You're not letting in things that are harmful, that are distasteful, and that are toxic. You have learned to let that stuff go, which is with the let go card. You have gotten to that place where you have let go of all of those things that no longer serve you. And what's coming in for you now is your just rewards. Your just due. For 2020, I don't see you where you are now. I see you in a better place. I see you in new unions that are, reciprocal. I see you connected with people that mutually love you just as much as you love them. I see people even saying, oh my God, I'm so happy she finally found someone who truly loves her and truly loves on the same level and plane that she loves, right? So many of your friends and family are going to be so happy for you just to even see the new year and what it has to bring for you, divine feminine, because right now you are off to a good start. You're truly in heaven. You are suspended in time. Okay. And your divine masculine is just going to be running circles around you when it's all said and done. But at the end of the day, speaking of your divine masculine, you got the mirrored souls. You guys reflect perfectly back to one another. I feel like there's a lot of things that still need to be healed in you, divine feminine, but for the most part, you're doing pretty darn good. You're just mirroring back to your divine masculine the things that still needs to be healed in him as well. And as you continue to do your work, whether you choose to do spiritual work on your own or whether you choose to hire me to do the shamanic healings and clearings for you, you are at this place now where you're pretty much living from your heart center. You're starting to look at things and you're starting to see it with more through the eyes of compassion, more through the pain of hurt. Okay, so I don't feel like you're bitter anymore. I feel like the bitterness is leaving. you were because of the pain. And people don't realize pain can make you bitter. Pain is real, okay? And I don't believe that the divine masculine added up all the cause of how much pain that he inflicted on you. Let's get to the divine masculine. Let's go to his side. Now we have the distorted masculine. So this divine masculine is not in his power. There is still a lot of shadow work that he needs to do. There's still a lot of healing that he needs to do. This person could be a narcissist, a manipulator for sure. And it's just not anyone that you really want to have connection with at this moment because of their level of trajectory and their level of perception. Right now, as you can see, even pouring out love as you are, he's feeling conflicted. But divine feminine, you are advised to have empathy, compassion, love, and understanding, because this is what is going to turn your divine masculine's frown upside down into a smile. This is what is going to bring him back. Divine feminines, your divine masculines need you. They need you to help them to heal because they cannot do it on their own. And when I say help them to heal, I don't mean do the healing for them because we can't. But what I'm saying is that Jesus said, by your word, you're either condemned or justified. So what I am saying to you, divine femmes, weigh your words out carefully. I too have been a victim of circumstances where I've allowed my emotions to just basically allow me to use my tongue as a sword against my divine masculine, because I've gotten so frustrated of the fuckery and the same old. It's just like a slippery spiral. Like, when the fuck are we gonna get off of this fucking karmic cycle, right? Your soul wants to grow and your soul wants to expand, but don't forget his does too. We often forget about how the other person feels and how they view things because we're so wrapped up in how we feel that we crowd out how the other person feels. And remember again that we're only perfect mirrors to each other. We're only mirroring back to each other what hasn't been healed that's coming up for healing on this timeline, right? So be more compassionate, have more love for your divine masculine, no matter what they are projecting. Remember, this is spiritual. Stop looking at this from the 3D aspect and start looking at this from a spiritual standpoint, and then you'll see things change. But if you keep on looking at what's wrong on the 3D, you're going to continue to get more of the shit show. You're going to continue to get more of the fuckery because you're not doing the spiritual work. You're just pointing the finger and pointing the blame. And we all know the blame game, no one wins. In the blame game, nobody wins. Everyone loses. All right? Divine masculine is having this conflict. We know it needs to be resolved, right? Because he doesn't know what his life purpose is. He knows there's a connection between the two of you and that you're somewhere nestled in there. You're interwoven in there somewhere, but he really don't fully understand it. All right? And so when he finally starts living his life purpose, this is when this can be resolved. But it cannot be resolved until this is fixed. And he is the only one that can fix it. So your prayer should be that divine masculine steps into his life purpose. You can even do affirmations for divine masculine. I'm so happy and grateful and thankful that whoever his name is, has stepped into his divine purpose, his life purpose, which has also allowed 3D union. Okay? Affirmations, do not underestimate them. They're very powerful. They're very strong. And they have changed a lot in my life. Trust me. Now, I feel like a lot of divine masculines are not having any self-respect for themselves. Okay? They have two choices. As you can see, the path is made clear. They can be spiritual and they can have it all, or they can stay where they are and lose it all. But the choice is theirs. They don't have self-respect for their bodies, okay? They don't have, your body is your temple, the temple of God. This is where God resides. So being promiscuous, sleeping with different women, drugs and alcohol, that's not having any respect for yourself, okay? That is disrespecting not only you, but also those that love you, that want the best. All right? It's a personal choice whether you respect yourself or not. Anybody that overindulges in anything, male or female, don't respect themselves. And it's not just the divine masculines that are males, okay? Women too. They're not having self-respect for themselves, okay? They're being led by their cardinal desires, and they're being led by the earthly plane. And so this is causing them to not really appreciate the temple in which God gave them. This can also be eating the wrong foods as well, overindulging in food and alcohol, okay? Sex, pornography. I'm picking up a lot from the ethers of what's going on out there. Multiple sex partners. Take what resonates. But you're on a self-destructive course if you continue on in this manner. Okay? No one wants self-destruction. So you're going to have to wake up to the fact that you're going to have to start valuing yourself and what you're doing. Even your own thoughts. You can be disrespectful by not thinking the right thoughts. You need to get a sense of worthiness. You are enough. You are worthy of true love. You are worthy of this connection. I feel like for a lot of divine masculines, they feel like they've done so much. They don't even feel worthy because they feel so guilty. Okay? Don't let the guilt hold you back. Guilt is poison. It poisons the mind. It will keep you from your highest good if you allow it. Forgive yourself and move on. Tend to your garden, okay? Relationships are like a garden. Water and plant seeds in your own garden and watch them grow. Stop looking at other women and stop looking at other opportunities and anything that can distract you off of your course and your life purpose and your mission. But focus on the garden that God has given you, because I feel like this is truly a gift. This journey to be on a twin flame journey is a sacred prophecy, for one, that is being fulfilled in you, my dear. You have fulfillment in this very prophecy. You are part of the 144,000 twin flames. That is a huge responsibility indeed. But it's certainly worth it. You're certainly worth it. The rewards are great. Look at that garden. It's beautiful because this divine masculine, he decided to tend to his garden. He decided to plant the flowers of different varieties and different types of trees and what have you. So this hell that he was in has become his heaven, right? Because I really feel like a lot of divine masculines have put themselves in a self-imprisoned hell, which is the mental mind frame. Your mental mind. You have imprisoned yourself in a hell on earth. And it has been man-made. Okay? This is not something you were born with, but this is something that is due to your own creation. You created this monster. You created the distance and the disconnect between you and your divine counterpart. So now you have to fix your garden. Now you have to tend to your garden. And as promised, just like it is on this card, if you cultivate it the right way and put into the garden what is needed, such as love, compassion, honesty, loyalty, integrity, you will yield a beautiful harvest. And your garden will be more beautiful than anyone else's. All right, you have with the last card, Divine Masculines, the Divine Masculine. Why is this card here? This is not currently where you are, but this is currently where you will be. You will have the strength. The sun will shine again. You will gain ancient knowledge back of esoteric knowledge, going all the way dating back into Kemet. I'm thinking about ancient Egypt when I look at the Eye of Horus here. Okay, you will protect your family. Divine masculines are protectors. Divine feminine is the nurturer. We cannot, as much as we try, we need one another. To a certain degree, there will be an unequal equilibrium between the two of us until we come together in union. Okay, whether we choose to do partnership, whether it's romance, or whether it's just friends, because we balance out one another. If you look at the book of Genesis, God says that man cannot continue alone. This is not Dr. Tyen saying this. This is written in the Bible. God said it himself. Man cannot continue alone. Man and woman was created for one another. The two balance out each other, the yin and the yang. You find your yin, you got your yang, you have a whole complete circle. You have complete balance. You don't have to have a physical body in order to do this. You can be within union within yourself. Balancing your masculine and your feminine energy, being your complete and whole self. As a matter of fact, that is what is required in order for you to have 3D union anyway. You have to be your complete and whole self. And that is recommended from both sides. Now, it doesn't mean that divine masculine is going to come back his complete and whole self. That's not what I'm saying. I said it's recommended from both sides, but it's not always the case. And it's not always the way that it's going to go down. Okay, sometimes people come back in union and the other person is not their whole and complete self and they're still detached. I mean, not detached. Some of them still are detached emotionally, but they still are codependent and have attachment issues. Okay, but right now, in order for divine masculine to get out of his hell, there's going to have to be divine intervention. All right, sometimes the bigger you are, the harder you fall. And I feel like for this divine masculine that I'm channeling for, he's going to have to hit rock bottom before he realizes where he needs to be and what he needs to be doing. Because like you seen on the road here, he has so much before him, but he's like, which way should I go? Now, being on the spiritual path can give him the big house, the luxuries and everything like that. That's not a bad thing because as you can see, a fairy is there leading the way. Fairies represents angelic energy. So, of course, a fairy wouldn't be there trying to tempt him to do something that's wrong. No, it's just letting divine masculine know that there is really no right and no wrong, but he has to make sure that whatever he chooses, that he puts God first, that source energy is a part of the equation. Because no matter what, putting spiritual things before material things brings you everything. That's the reason why the scripture says that you have to put the kingdom of God first, and all these other things will be added to you. Not the other way around. You can't put the cart before the horse, okay? The horse goes in front of the cart. And so divine masculines at this very moment, this self-imprisoned hell that you have put yourself in is something that you can easily get out of. All it takes is a change of perception. Changing your mind. You have to change your mind in order to change your life. If you want to change the things in your life, guess what? You have to change the things in your life. Stop leaving it in the mental and thinking about it, thinking it over analyzing, over rationalizing, and never making a move. Do you see that this divine masculine is on his path? He's making a move with his staff in his hand, right? The staff is like a scepter. It represents power. You're moving in your power. And all I'm encouraging you to do is continue to do so. Don't stop. Do you see this man? He's not stopped trying to figure out which way he's going to go. And as you can see, he's headed towards the heavens because he wants to be there with his divine feminine. He wants to bring heaven to earth. And I ain't mad at him. All right, I have come to the conclusion of this beautiful reading, you guys. It is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a love donation if you feel inclined to, or you can purchase a gift from my wish list on Amazon and it will appear on the channel. I now wrap you in my love, and and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. And so it is, everyone. Namaste.